Hey everyone, Barbara Chris here, your nutrition and weight loss coach. And today I have a very special guest with me, and this is Valerie. Say hello to Valerie, everyone. So she is one of my amazing clients, and I convinced her to join me today to share her story with all of you. She's inspired me for sure, and I know she's inspired many others. And I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So without further ado, Val, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Val. I live in Montana, and I've been working with Barbara for close to a year, I think.
I
And
know.
yeah, welcome everybody. And please know if you've got any questions, just send them to us and we will try and get them answered.
Definitely, yes. And it's actually you said that it's been about a year. It went fast. And I love working with all my clients, but I definitely love working with Val. She's just we have fun. We talk about all things. And I really wanted to bring her on because I felt that so many of you could relate to Val's story, right? I mean, I think first things first is I don't know, maybe can you share with us, Valerie, a little bit about your kind of like your journey? Have you, as far as let's say getting healthier, is this something that, you've had to work on more recently, or is this something you've struggled with your whole life? Or, tell us about that.
Okay, well, it's really been a struggle most of my life. I was very active in high school and in sports and stuff. Then I went to college and gained the freshman 15, which led into more. And, I've kind of yo-yoed up and down since then, and along with a couple pregnancies. Then I've yo-yoed after that, and I've tried many different diets and many different fad diets. And in my journey, I have found that I really just kind of screwed my body up and screwed my mindset up by
Mm,
thinking I could only eat certain things. And, you know, so it's been a long journey for me, and I've tried a million different things. And when one day I saw an interview with you and Robert Ferguson on helping women over 40, and I thought, well, maybe there is help for us.
yeah, and that was something I'm so glad you brought up, and I really wanted to touch on today is this whole thing about getting healthier, losing weight after 40, because I believe there are a lot of women out there who have struggled, like many of us, right? And start to feel like there's nothing out there that works, or there's nothing out there that is a good fit, or even sometimes I believe us women feel like there's something wrong with us, that there's something wrong with me, that nothing seems to work. And so I'm so glad that you shared a little bit about the fact that, because I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? We're in high school, we were active, went to college, still pretty active, but then life, kids, things kind of change the way I guess our activities, right? How we eat, how we're
Mhm.
moving. And before we know it, right, we're like, oh man, we're you made mention of even the freshman 10, way back in college, but there's a lot of people who are dealing with the COVID-15, COVID, whatever, and
Yeah.
trying to deal with that. So, okay, so that's kind of how you said, so you sort of experience this whole yo-yo throughout time, right? Kind of going up and down,
Mhm.
up and down. When did you feel, or what would you say was the biggest struggle with that? Was it, the food part of it? Was it the activity part of it? What was the biggest struggle for you?
I think that I struggled um, mostly with the food part of it. Initially, just trying to plan meals, and I didn't really know um, what I should be eating because, like I said, I had tried the keto and, not having any fruits, and I've tried different things. So I, I really wasn't sure what the best combination was for me.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think a lot of people, and I think as moms, especially, or dads, I guess if you're in charge of making meals, for the family, and I think that was something that you kind of shared with me as well, is that I think you are the main cook, right?
Hmm.
And so when you're constantly dealing with food, you're trying to figure out what's best for you, or maybe what's best for your family, and it feels like it can be a lot of work. Now, did you feel that? And I'll ask you this, and because I think a lot of people wonder this. Did you have a fear that getting, quote unquote, healthier meant that you had to eat totally different than, let's say, your family or, your friends or whatever, that you just had to be in this kind of isolated space to get healthy? Did you have a fear about that?
Yeah, I had, you know, I had a thought that, yeah, I had to eat one certain way and then I had to have something else for my family. And so it was quite a struggle to, in my mind, it was almost a blockage because I didn't want to have to be cooking two sets of meals and two sets of everything. And so I just, didn't want to do that. It was a lot of work to worry about that.
Right? You're like,
But
screw that.
yeah, and then, within the last year since I've been working with you, I kind of had a revelation and change in my mindset where I didn't have to use or cook two meals. I really just needed to add like one extra dish. So if I was cooking chicken or steak for our protein, and my husband likes pasta or potatoes, so I would always have something like that for him. Well,
Hmm.
I really just needed an extra vegetable or, one extra dish. So
Yeah.
once I thought about that and thought, well, I just need one or two extra dishes. I don't really need to change my whole meal.
Yeah.
Um, it really made it a lot easier. And now it seems so simple. Like, well, yeah, why wasn't I thinking about it like that to start with? But it really was kind of a block for me.
And that's true. And I believe that, the food part, or feeling like you have to be this slave to food planning or meal planning. I think a lot of people have that fear that somehow I've got to, live in the kitchen and constantly plan out my meals, or, in order to be healthier. And I think the key thing here is that you found something that worked for you and your family, because everybody's different, right? Like, there are some people who really love all that meal planning, and there are some people who, I work with people like this, right? There's some people who don't like to cook, and their meals are coming from things like, maybe eating out, or things where there's a lot more convenience involved, right? It's just really finding something that fits for them. And I love that for you, like you said, it was just a matter of, okay, so I don't have to necessarily create multiple meals in one sitting. It's just how to tweak it, how to make it best for really all of us, me and the family, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was, and actually, I love that story, because I remember when you shared that with me, that I think I told you, I was like, I have a client who needs to hear this story. So because she had that struggle, that block, thinking, I just don't want to like spend all day in the kitchen. And
Yeah.
I love the insight that you shared. And I love that you shared that it was once a block for you too, that part, right?
Yeah.
So now, so when you think about that, when you made that shift, as far as like moving away from, oh, I guess it's really just having to make another dish, what do you feel helped you kind of see it that way versus more of a, maybe a block? What helped you kind of open your mind to that?
Um, that's a good question. I think, um, I think part of it was just keeping consistent and um, trying some new different things, cooking some new different things. And then as I could put them together, it just clicked
Mhm.
um, that this could work
Yeah.
and it didn't have to be so hard.
Yeah, that's a good. It didn't have to be so hard. One of the things I was thinking about with you, and I can recall working with you over time is, and it was probably earlier on too when I first had you kind of eating. I think in your mind you thought even more than what you were maybe thinking in your head that you would be eating.
Mm-hmm.
And the weight started coming down, and more importantly, like your body composition was improving and your waist was coming in. And I remember you sharing with me your energy levels were feeling, you're feeling better there too. What would you say that did as far as like maybe helping you, or would you say that that helped you have confidence in the fact that, kind of like battling that myth of there's, after 40, there's really limited things for me to do. Do you feel like that actually helped you gain some momentum?
Yeah, I do. I mean, of course, we would all love to have that special pill that just made the weight fall off like
Yeah.
in a week. And I think we all hope that's going to happen,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's not going to happen. And consistency is the key. But you have to celebrate each little win, whether it's feeling better or you know, your doctor's appointments are going better, you're getting off medications. It doesn't always have to be just about the scale. And I
Mm.
think that also is was a big help for me to kind of get to that point, because I've for years and years just been so focused on the scale and not really focused on making myself healthy from within, and then eventually over time it will show on the outside. But
Right.
I think, as we were talking one time, you know as you get older, it's really more important to be healthy inside, um and then it'll show on the outside.
Yeah. So here's a question. Can you pinpoint a time or a moment or something where you found that your thought process of getting healthier made that shift from what you weighed on the scale versus something else? Like, was it something that happened or an event, or what was it that helped that caused your shift to happen?
I don't really know that there was any one major thing.
Hmm.
I think of a lot of it was working with you as a coach and just talking through these things.
Mm,
Because with regular diets, you don't really have a chance to visit with somebody um, who can help you work through that and
yeah.
see that. So I think for me, it was just a lot of working with a coach.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, thank you so much. And it's true even for me as a coach in working with different clients because everybody's so unique. And yes, I work with it's a scientifically sound, evidence-based methodology, right? So that's the consistent methodology that I work with. But every person inside that I work with is just a little different. Their tastes are a little different. Their lifestyles are a little different. Maybe the stressors that they have are different. Just everything, their preferences are different. And I think with you, what I find is what was been, I think, an absolute advantage that you've had is your willingness to just do it. Like, just, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hunker down. If we say for the next 7 days, we're gonna knock this out for the next 7 days and kind of see where we go. And I give that to you as far as you've, and trusting in me, right? And just kind of
Mhm.
listening and going all out. And I'm
Yeah.
so proud to be working with you this long and to kind of see you grow. And not just so much, as far as getting healthier and things like that, but I agree, your mindset, where you're at and the way you think about things, whether we have a great week or a so-so week or whatever it might be, that your mindset is right there. It's in the right place as far as, finding that lifestyle that that thing that you, like you mentioned to me, a while ago, that, hey, I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I don't want to just find a fad. I want to do this for the long haul. And so you're definitely well on your way, Missy. Now, okay, so let's see. I want to ask more questions, which, as far as, let's talk being over 40, some of the struggles. I mean, I think there's a lot of great things being over 40 for sure. It's not all disadvantages, damn it. Right? Shoot, we're
Yeah.
wiser. But what would you share is, for you, what was the biggest challenge for you being over 40 and thinking about getting healthier? What was the challenge for you?
Um, well, you always hear, I mean, you're reading in the paper or the magazines or whatever, see it on Facebook, that once you hit 40, it's so hard. Like your metabolism goes down the tubes and it's so hard to lose weight. And I think that is a huge mental weight on women that hit 40 and are over 40. And I mean, yes, I believe it's true. Your body is different, but um like through your guys' program, you've proven that there are ways that women over 40 can lose weight, and it's not a big horrible thing.
Yeah. No, that's, I love how you said that. It's this mental weight. I think because we do hear so much about when you hit 40 or even 50 for that matter. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember when I turned 40 being so scared to turn 40 because of just all kinds of things, right? When you
Mhm.
just start hearing about these milestones. And now, and I look back and I think, wow, it's an awesome age. And now that I'm, geez, 48, um, it's like it's a great place to be, and there's nothing to be afraid of. But like you
Yeah.
said, yeah, there's ways to be, I guess, smarter and to optimize where we are in life right now as far as how we eat and
Mhm.
how we move. And I know that you and I together, we've been definitely journeying on that as far as what's working best for you,
Mhm.
to optimize your health and, the goals that you want. And kind of like what I was saying before, or what you were saying before, about it's not just weight for you, there's other things, right? There's other health markers that you're trying to improve. And I think that that's one of the coolest things about working with women and men, 40 and over, right? Is because our goals are, I think, I don't want to say they're more meaningful, but there's more, I think, a variety, more breadth to the goals that we have, right? It's,
Mhm.
yes, it might be the way we look and what we weigh on the scale, but it's also our overall health and how we feel, and maybe getting off certain medications, and being certain level of having a certain level of activity with our families, things like that. Um,
Yeah.
what would you say then, for you, if you could look back, so where you are now, if you could look back a year ago when we first started, what would you say is one of the best lessons that you've learned so far that you can share with everybody?
Yeah. Gosh, there's so many lessons that I've learned. um, the best one I think would be consistency, and being consistency in eating, consistency with exercise. Um, you don't have to be 110% every day, but if you can um, kind of average that out, you will see the results, and it makes it easier to become your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think consistency would probably be the biggest takeaway from me, and that it just takes time. It's going to take
Yeah. Why? I mean, that's wise words right there. For sure. Consistency is key. And sometimes it sounds like it's so cliche, because we feel like you hear it all the time, you say it all the time, but it's
Mhm.
so true, right? I mean, consistency,
Yeah.
just showing up every day. Now, okay, here's a I just want to hear what you have to say about this. So would you say that a habit takes 21 days to form or much longer than that?
Oh, I would say much longer.
I agree. There's studies that show there's a range. Like there's studies that look at how long it takes to form a habit. And the studies show that it can take anywhere from about 21 days to like 260 something, so close to a year. So you can imagine that, the average person trying to form a new habit, let's say if it is getting healthier, and if it's something that's brand new to you, there's no way in hell just 21 days is going to do it, right? I mean, so we can
No.
start there.
Yeah, it's
We
a
can
good
start there.
start.
Yeah, but like you said, consistency is key. No, I love it. Let's see. Okay, so one last question, and then I will let you go. But I wanted to ask you, as far as what kind of goals, maybe looking forward, what are some of the things that you have for yourself, maybe personally, or even as a maybe, whether it's personally or anything really, or health wise, what kind of goals do you have moving forward? What can we
Mhm.
look forward to with Valerie?
Well, I think at this point, my biggest goal is to get off all my medications.
Hmm.
And then, my next biggest goal is just to consistently feel good.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you, I'm knocking on the door of 50.
Hmm.
And um, so I don't want to go into my second, half century at a disadvantage of
Hmm.
not being healthy and not being in good shape. Um, because you see, and in my family, heart disease, strokes, run in my family. So I'm at an age now where I really want to not have to worry about that.
Hmm.
So those are my biggest goals. And of course, always my goal is, to look better and for the scale to be down to what I want it to be.
Yeah.
So, and I think as I, you know, can get healthier, that will come. I feel
Yeah.
confident in that now. It's taken me a long time to feel that way, but I really do now.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that. And that's kind of what I was alluding to about our goals as we get older. It's like we get wiser too. But
Mm-hmm.
those are really good goals because you're right. I mean, damn it, we want to look and feel good too. Let's just be, we're going to be
Yeah.
real, right? We want to look and feel good too. But there's these other things that really matter. And yeah, they're probably even more important, right? As far as, like you said, if you have family history and you're trying to go into your next, 50 years at an advantage. I love how you
Mm-hmm.
said that. In fact, we're going to have to tweet that or something. That's actually really good, is that um, I wish more people could have and hear this and have that attitude of, especially right now when we're able to take advantage of that and create an advantage health wise where we can. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's awesome. So I love that. It's a great goal. And I think that's something that it's exactly why I wanted to, have this interview with you so you can share some of this insight. Cause I know it's going to inspire a lot of people. So um, anyway, I'm sure we'll do this again because this was like ripping off the Band-Aid for both of us, right? We
Yep.
we knew we
For
wanted to
sure.
share this, but at least we got it done now. So now we're
Yeah.
gonna next time if we do this a second, third, or however many times we're gonna be like full on, like Regis and whoever. Or no, it's
Yeah.
Ryan and why can't I think of her name? Well, we're
And
two women now,
Kelly.
so just yeah. Barb and Val. We'll be
Yeah.
we'll be like smooth from this point on. Yeah. So I know, do you have any closing comments or anything else you want to share? I mean, I think you shared some great insight. I'm so thankful for your time and creating this or cutting out this time for me to share with others your amazing self and journey so far. So anything else you want to share?
Oh, well, thank you. No, um, I thank you for being such a good coach and being so
Oh,
patient and encouraging, because I think that's a huge part of anybody's journey is to have that support And because you don't always get that support, at home or from your family and friends. And so in order to have that support, find it somewhere, have it somewhere, and it makes a huge difference.
Mm. Nicely said. Wow. Girl, shoot. Oh man, so this was great. So thank you so much. And thanks to all of you who tuned in. We appreciate your time as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. We'll, do our best to get back, answer them for you. And also, if you feel that anybody else that you love could benefit from hearing this, feel free to share. Definitely leave comments, like I said, and let me know if there's anything else you want to hear about. And I'll be sure to include that in upcoming episodes. So with that, Coach BK and
Val.
yeah, we're out. All right, bye everyone. Mwah.